No matter how you did on your early NFL bets, join us every Sunday at 3 p.m. on Before You Bet with DommyGunRici and DJ Bigboss, Who-Bangin Sports Talk.
What up? What up? What up? Dow? Live and direct. I am back, y'all. It's been a long week, but I made it here. I don't know where my man DommyGunRici at, but he should be showing up soon. Sent a couple invites out to a couple other people. I don't know where they at though. How y'all feeling today? Let us know in the chat how your bets is going for you today, and how far off. Me myself, I'm on the Ravens right now, minus 6.5, so I'm sweating it out a little bit. But right now the Ravens only up by 3, 4:10 left in the fourth quarter, so I need a touchdown right here. Let's see what else is going on around the league today. Let's go through the scores right here. So right now, let me get a quick refresh. Right now, we got Cincinnati leading Atlanta 35-17. We got Dallas leading Detroit 17-6. Shout out to Dak coming back. We got Green Bay trailing now the Washington Commanders 14-20. And we also have Cleveland losing to Baltimore 20-23. Further down, the big one of the day, I would say, is no Brady showed up today in Carolina and Tampa Bay. I don't know how that happened, but it's 21-3. Carolina has the ball, and they're in total command of that game. We also have the Giants. This game has been struggling like tug of war since the beginning. The Giants and the Jaguars. Right now, it's the end of the third and 8 on Jaguar 39, and Jaguars are up 17-13. Then we have the Colts and Tennessee. I thought this would be a real good one to jump on. Kind of happy that I didn't, because it looks like there's gonna be some shenanigans going towards the end right now. Right now, Indianapolis has the ball on their own 37. 5 minutes left, and it's 16-10. Tennessee. Then we have the Jets in Denver coming up in the afternoon. We also have the 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. That's going to be a great game. We have the Raiders and the Raiders in Houston. And we also have Seattle Seahawks and the Chargers later on. And then later on we got Pittsburgh and Miami. So let me know what y'all feeling about the games that's going on right now, and then we're gonna get into. Oh, there you go. What's up, Dom?
What up? You hear me?
My earphones must be.
We
off.
good? Welcome to Who-Bangin. Come on, man. You
There
don't
we
hear
go.
me?
I hear you now.
Now you hear me.
Dom?
Welcome to Who-Bangin.
Oh, that's
How's
a classic. You pulled out the harmonica on them.
The harp. How's everybody? Week 7. Off to a bang. I start off with my favorite bet of the week. Boom, goes down in flames. To Jacksonville first half, minus 2.5. Just hand the ball over going into a. Listen, they outplayed the Giants all day long. They've gotten 3 bad penalties, and they fumbled the ball going into the end zone. As my buddy Big Ragoo said from the game, he carried that ball like a loaf of bread, and he sure did. But, hey, listen, that's not the Giants' fault, right? So the Giants are still in the game. But you could see the second half how Jacksonville's been dominating the second half. I mean, they dominated the first half if you think about it. But, hey, that's why they play the game. And first halves don't mean nothing except to us gamblers. But I did have the Titans first half, so I split that sucker. And I'm alive. Well, I'm assuming I'd be real bad luck if I don't cash this under in the Dallas game. That's for sure. and I need the Ravens to. I had the Ravens in the teaser yesterday, which I don't think I've ever done. With Penn State yesterday +2, and I even went past the almighty 0 that everybody just freaks out about. But and I hooked them up with the Ravens, so the Ravens just had a win. It was -0.5. And that's
Okay.
what's going on. So that's what's going on here today for me. 2023, Baltimore was up 2013. Now it's 2023, Baltimore. 3 minutes and 20 seconds left. The Ravens will just never make it easy for you, man. That's for sure. Unbelievable
Man.
freaking team.
Looked like they had a
Unbelievable.
chance to had a chance to get away, but I don't know. Something about Lamar Jackson, maybe the theatrics. He always wants to make a big deal at the end. Man, this is when you at home comfortably cover this win right here. Go up a couple points or something. It's
Eat some
unbelievable.
clock, right? Run the ball, eat some clock, stop the heroics. It doesn't matter if you win by 20 points or 2 points, or actually 1 point, but it doesn't matter. Style points don't mean nothing in the NFL, all right? So,
Exactly.
but that's Lamar for you. Last week I heard from a bunch of different people in a bunch of different survivor pools, some pretty big ones. One of them, a friend of mine has 300 people in it. Another one, a guy I know has like 75 people in it. And I'm not sure about Jimmy's survivor, but Tampa Bay took out like half of their fucking pool last week. And
I could imagine. I mean,
and a lot of them, and DJ, those 3 guys I know all said to me they were going with Tampa Bay this week. Because they didn't use them yet. And they were so proud of themselves for using the Rams last week instead of Tampa Bay. And I said, yeah, that was a great look. Because I loved the Rams last week. And I was like, that's a great look. And I agreed with them. Yeah, Tampa Bay's probably a good spot today. I mean, Carolina, what's Carolina going to do? They're hurt. They got rid of Robbie Anderson. They got rid of McCaffrey. What are they going to do? That's what they do. Go up 21-3, fourth quarter, 6 minutes left. Tom Brady. The hot wife is gone.
That's pretty typical for him too, man. That's the crazy part about it. That's kind of typical for him.
Yeah.
I seen it coming, but I wasn't willing to bet it, but I seen it coming.
Yeah.
Every time
I wasn't willing to bet it either.
Yeah, the first thing you think when McCaffrey gone is, oh wow, they're gonna be hurt. But I mean, that guy was injured a lot. They used to playing without him, and they wouldn't make decisions like that if they didn't think that they could survive without him. And
yeah,
here we go right there.
Yeah, for me, they you know what? They looks like they got rid of some guys that they could, play for next year, get their cap around, get rid of some high paying contracts and see where it goes. But you know what? That pumps up the team. The team says, oh, they're letting go their stars. We better step up, man, and we'll be out the. We're second stringers. It will be out the door. All of a sudden, everybody comes alive. You never know what snaps you out of it.
Yeah.
But Tampa Bay really hasn't been scoring many points in any of these games this year. I mean, you see so many drives that end in field goals with Tampa Bay this season so far. So they definitely aren't themselves. But be that as it may, I heard you talking about the later games, and do you have any wagers on any of those late games?
Nah, I was hoping to make some money with the Ravens, and then I love my Niners, but that's a really tough game right there. Some games are great to bet on and feels great to bet it and da 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 da. But if you don't have a true edge, I mean, why bet the game? You know what I mean? So the only true edge that I see in the games coming up for me so far, as a side, is either I'm taking the Raiders at home, which I always said since the beginning of the season to take the Raiders at home, but putting the 7 in front of it,
7's a little tough, right, bro? 7's a tough
number. They always find a way to mess that off. But is it tough enough for me to take the 7 with Houston? I don't know. I had to talk to my man LJ about that.
I didn't hear his breakdown. I had to run out. I seen him pop on Jimmy's show this morning, and I had to run out. I didn't really hear his take on it, but I thought he was saying that the Raiders were the bet, but I think he had a couple prop bets maybe on Houston. I was trying to listen as I was in the car, and that's just so hard to do. But the 7 is a tough one, and Houston does cover some spreads, so that's a tough number. I took the I took a field goal prop with the Jets, over 1.5, but it was minus 130. I didn't like that, but I did take that. I know our boy Teece took something about their first score would be a field goal by the Jets plus three something. I think he did something
Wow.
like that. Yeah, he did one of those, or I think he did it with both sides, with Denver and I think he did it with both sides. So he's really banking on a field goal being the first score, basically. Because I think he took both teams to score first score to be a field goal. We'll see. Um, and I don't know if I have anything else alive in the second half yet. I was hoping if we get a couple of our guests jump in, we could get a little insight, maybe grab something live while we're on the air. The first game is the Texans Raiders, so that goes off in 20 minutes. So, you know what I was going to ask you was, what do you think about that McCaffrey going to the Niners? I mean, it looks like the
Um,
Niners aren't healthy to begin with, and now they add another guy that's not. I mean, if he's healthy, yeah, it'd be a great addition. And it feels like the Niners are trying to go for it this year, but they just can't get their injuries together. I mean, I'm sure you feel the same way I do about McCaffrey. I mean, he's just injury prone. Is he going to be in there in the next few weeks?
but I'll just have to. I mean, I have some good parts about it. I mean, on the upside, maybe this is a offensive line that can protect him better, or maybe this is a chance for
Yeah.
him to play a little better. And then also, him coming home. I'm not an advocate of trying to get all these players back near their hometowns and all that stuff. I mean, just pick the best players for the team. But this is a quality guy of 3 years ago, despite his health. But health is a thing on the Niners. I
Hell
mean,
yeah.
you kind of it's kind of bad, but it's kind of like we kind of used to it. I mean, we
Yeah.
lose
They know
Bosa,
how
we
to
lose
play
some of
with
the
it.
top players all the time. We lose the top quarterbacks, and we continue to
Kittle.
strive. So yeah, Kittle's not a big deal. But with him coming back to the Bay, maybe, and he looks all really motivated to play for the Niners. Maybe it's a more comfort zone for him, and maybe we get a little more health out of him, get some more out of him. But I mean, let's talk about when he's in, and what does he do for the team when he's in, and he is healthy, and that's a lot.
Right.
Being able,
Yes.
especially with we need to be able to cover these games down the long stretch, like we talked about before, running the ball, taking care of the clock, and we don't want to keep handing the ball over to Garoppolo to make big decisions at the end of the
Right.
game. He's not doing well at that. So I think it's a good clutch. I think it's a better long term thing more than just in a right away thing. You know what I'm saying? I think it's better long term for McCaffrey, but I think he's gonna play today, right?
What was that, bud?
I think McCaffrey's gonna play today, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's going to be playing, so it should be interesting. How you doing,
Hey,
Leonard? Leonard the
Sayonara,
Porsche. Dude,
the
what's up,
Porsche
brother?
Junior.
Good to see you, man. Thank you
Appreciate you
for
checking in
stopping
on me. Yeah, I'm feeling better that I'm right here with my man Dom. Back on camera makes me feel good. That's for
Good,
sure.
man.
But
Yeah, can't do this without you. A couple
it's gonna
days
be
maybe, but that's about it.
yeah, man.
So
But
look at this, the beginning of the fourth quarter, and and I said it kind of tongue in cheek, but I really did believe it that because I know a bunch of people still love the Commodores and they bet them in the futures left and right, and they were just thinking that it was the spot for Carson Wentz and all this nonsense. So I was texting in the chats that take the Commodores today because the better quarterback is playing, and you know. Not that I bet them, but they went up. Green Bay is just, I don't know what's up with that team, but Washington's up beginning of the fourth quarter, 20-14, amazing. What I don't know what's going on with Green Bay. I think the
so
whole
it looks
team.
like we're gonna have a couple games that are gonna close out well, and this is kind of new for this season because we've been having a lot of fourth quarter
Magic.
theatrics. But looks like Carolina's going to close out Tampa Bay 21-3, end of the fourth.
Dallas.
Giants and Jaguars. I mean, this is 11 minutes left in the fourth. Maybe get about 3-4 more minutes, and it's time to choose a
Yeah,
live spot if you want to choose a live spot on
I
that
got
one.
that game on now. That's what I'm watching. 9 minutes and 56 seconds left. Giants with
And
the ball. They cross over the Jaguars. They're about on the Jaguars 43, and they're driving. Now the Giants didn't go for a field goal at the end of that first half. They went for the fourth. They went down fourth. They went for it on fourth down. Or no, not in the end of the first half. In the third quarter, they should have kicked the field goal, and they didn't. And they went for it and then didn't get it. And then Jacksonville got the ball back but didn't score. But that's the difference right now. And if you notice that, I don't know if you've seen the first drive that Jacksonville scored, they went for the 2-point conversion right away. So they were up 8-7, you know, and then, so that, yeah, that's what happened there.
Yeah.
Jones with the ball pass.
Definitely Cincinnati's going to finish off Atlanta. Dallas is going to finish off Detroit.
17-6 Dallas, 2 minutes and 11 seconds left. Let's see, what else you say? Tennessee is up 16-10, 5 minutes left. I had Tennessee in the first half, but you know, with Tennessee and Indianapolis, those games, you never know what's going to happen until the end, usually with those two teams.
Yeah, you got 3 minutes left.
So much time they play each other. But the Colts are another team that's just terrible this year. Cincinnati putting a hurting on the Falcons. And we need the damn Ravens to hold on. That's what we need.
Yeah, something told me I should have used an exotic today, and I was going to tease the Ravens. I was going to tease the Ravens to the Raiders, and also down to
that's not a bad.
Also down to
what? The Raiders are a perfect candidate for that, for a teaser, TJ. That's a good thought.
Yeah,
wow.
I think I'm gonna
we
go
can
in.
Tease the Raiders down to 1, and I mean I have 6-point teasers. I could tease the Raiders down to 1, and the Niners up to 8, up to 7. Yeah, but you see, this is what I don't like. I don't like teasing numbers where I like to tease numbers on the half first of all, because I hate the tie loses. So I'd like to be off that damn tie. And it's just, you do a teaser with +7, you know you're going to, that's too risky, you know.
You asking for a tie.
You're asking for, now with Bet Online, I mean, a lot of sites, you could bet the teaser and then buy the half a point. But now your teaser juice jumps, and it's, you know, it's ridiculous to do that. But that's really crazy. Bet the Jets.
I'm going to take a shot
F.
with
Donahue.
that.
What's up, F. Donahue? People are saying it's a trap. Bet the Jets. Listen, if you don't know, I'm a New Yorker. I'm a Jet fan who hasn't been backing them. That's for sure. But listen, Denver and the Jets play a lot. I have a friend who's a very big Denver Bronco fan. He's actually at the game today in Denver. He goes out there when they play the Jets, and he always has tickets when the Denver is here. So I've seen them play the Jets a couple of times. These teams play each other pretty tight. I mean, listen, you can't hurt the way the Jets have been playing. They've been playing well. It hasn't been smoke and mirrors. The defense has been playing well. I don't know if this total is a little bit low. I kind of had a feeling that it just screams low and screams under that it might go over. I seen an interesting prop bet. Both teams score over 19.5 points, plus 250-something. It's a pretty interesting bet, you know. What's up, Nicky? Boston Nick in the house. What's up, Butter? How are you? And Vegas, do you have any specialty field goal plays? Yeah, I took the Jets over 1.5, minus 130. And our boy Teece took the Jets to score, the first score to be Jets field goal at like plus 3-something. So if that helps you. But yes, I did take the only field goal prop I took today. You know what's happening with them? All those field goal props I was taking, plus 114, plus 105, minus 105. I'm not seeing them. Now they're all minus 125, minus 130. Yeah. I mean, I'm not the only one betting field goal props, obviously. Well, you know what happens. These books, their computers spit out not that a lot of people are betting it, but they see that in general it's been cashing. So they just keep on raising the juice. I mean, they probably get 1% of the bets on something like that, if that amount, you know. I mean, sure as hell I ain't changing the market, that's for sure. That's for damn sure. But anyhow, yeah, that's what I did. That was my field goal prop of the day. Anybody have any plays in the chat? Let us know.
Man, I need a miracle over here in Baltimore.
I'd like to tease the Raiders somehow. I almost like to maybe do it but I don't want to.
I went ahead and took it, Dom. I mean, I don't got nothing to lose. I'm a Niner fan. I love the Niners plus points, And I just think that the Raiders, if the setup is right for the Raiders to make a run for the playoffs or even get in position to try to be a team to win the championship when it comes to Las Vegas, then they got to start winning at home for sure.
Yeah.
So, in that respect, I really like the Raiders today.
I was laughing. Remember when in the beginning of August when me and you were in Vegas, they had the or it might have been the night before you came. I'm not sure now, but they had the Raiders was pregame. Raiders was on TV, and the whole New Orleans sports book filled up. All these people started coming in with
Wow.
Raiders shirts. I'm like, it's preseason, and they're screaming and high fiving each other. I'm like, oh man, this town is lit for these damn team, man.
Oh, they love the Raiders, man. They love. I mean, way before the Raiders even got there, when they kind of announced it or whatever, I was down there one time near the Fremont Experience, and they have some little section, this fan section or something for Raiders. Man, it was like they had a Bruce Springsteen full concert out there full of Raider fans.
That's amazing. I'll tell you, when I got out of the airport, picked up my car, and I was driving to the hotel, the way that my GPS took me was past that stadium, and I was impressed. Even from driving on the outside, I was like,
Oh,
wow,
yeah.
this place looks nice. It was everything in black and silver and
Oh,
just the
yeah.
whole modern thing. Oh, it was great. It's really cool. Definitely got to try to get that next year sometime. Get us, we'll go to one of those games because that'd be a blast, man. That'd be a
Yeah,
blast.
I've heard some good things about that place. I heard
Yeah,
some
me
crazy
too.
stuff too, but
Yeah,
it's the Orleans is so close to it. That's probably why you got a big layover of people over there. Though.
right. Without a doubt, without a doubt. All
Well, let's
right,
check in and
so
see what the games is looking like so far. Um,
let
let
me
me
look
see
at some.
here. Is Dallas over? Bengals over.
Okay, so I
Looks
won the
like
under in the
the
Dallas
Commanders
game.
have the ball.
Uh huh.
They're up. They're up 23-14,
Wow.
and they have the ball, so they're looking good to close out. What's going on with Rodgers, man? We
That
need to
that
talk
shit
about
that he
that.
drank, man. He went over there. He drank that trippy juice, the higher whatever it's called, the higher whatever the hell it's called, and it's supposed to make you get in touch. It's really what we used to call back in the day. That's acid. You're tripping, man. That's mescaline. That's peyote. That's all that shit, man. That's hallucinogenics. But what happened is he spiked his whole team with that shit
Damn.
because they're all playing like shit.
Even
It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing.
even on
Man.
this year, like even at home, they used to be key at home, but not even
Yeah.
at home no more.
Listen,
Now
that
they
last
getting
week,
now they getting beat on the road like a stepchild.
when they lost, if it was last week or the week before, their last home game that they lost, um, that was like the first game they lost against the spread, and whatever the number was, they were like 10-0 or whatever the hell it was. It was a big. Wow, did the Giants just score?
Yes, Giants get it in.
Wow. Wow. Well, I'm glad. I hope they win this because Big Ragoo took the first half under like I did, the first half Jaguars like I did, but he took the full game Giants. So I hope this hits. So at least he'll split his bets there. And
Let's
if,
see.
if
Let's
we
see if he comes in after the
yeah,
Giants score since he's there live.
yeah, so
Where you at, Ragu?
we sent him the link. We are hoping that Big Ragoo comes in from the Jaguars game. Sometimes it's hard, to get the signal and stuff. I know they tried the other night when I was watching Cabby Friday night. He tried to get Razor to come in from the Phillies game, but it kept on cutting in and out. It's so hard to do that, but if it works, it'll be great. Ragoo was there with his whole family, his son, the in-laws, Mama Ragoo, and hopefully they stop in, and hopefully we get our boy Rocco Rogers stops in, and Nutflush Allen's at the casino. Said he was going to walk away from the poker table and jump in with us.
That'll be till tomorrow that guy to walk away. You can
So
forget about it,
I
man.
shouldn't hold my breath.
Nah, we'll be having dinner by the time he gets around.
That is so funny. So let me go over
That's
the
my guy though. Shout out to the Nutflesh family, man.
yeah,
I seen
man.
this kid on TV the other day with the fishing stuff. He was the guy. Ever since we first met him, we had Low Bag LA, and Nutflesh brought him down to the meetup, And I mean, that little kid is everything you could say of a low bagger, man. He's on the line. He's on everything. He was on the Warriors that day. I never forget. And he wouldn't let me forget. But the guy's on the camera for fishing like a natural, man. I had to give a shout out to Lil Nut Flush Jr. over there.
The kid's sharp too, man. The kid's sharp with his sports. He knows his San Francisco Giants also. Believe it or not, the kid, I don't want to I don't like to talk about gambling with little kids. So, but I'll tell you, he's a pretty good capper.
Yeah.
I sent the kid a Met hat. He said his father told me he had a collection of all hats, and the only hat he won't buy is a Dodger hat. So I said, Does he have a Met? So I said, does he have a Met hat? He said, no. So I sent him a Met hat. Or last time we seen Nut Flush in Vegas, I gave him a Met visor or something, a Met hat or whatever.
Nice.
And the kid put it up, though. And then he wore it one day. He took a picture and sent it's so nice, man. He took a picture and sent it. That just shows you the respect and the Allen family and Kristen cracking the whip and making sure everybody's on point.
Well, that's it for the Ravens. The Ravens win by 3. Don't cover.
Yes. Oh, sorry, but I covered my teaser.
Hey, it happens when it happens. I should have played it as a teaser instead of straight. This NFL's been so. I mean, I think this is the thing I think about the NFL right now. They're making so many concrete decisions to who's good and who's not, who's going to be in the playoffs and who's not. We're only at the 7th week. It's a 17-game season now, so. Yes. We're barely even halfway or something now.
So 17 weeks. No, we're not halfway.
Why are
people?
We got 3.
No, we're not halfway.
Yeah. Why are they writing people off? They're writing teams off.
You know what?
They're doing this. They're writing players off. But this all plays back into the whole thing of the whole entertainment, social media thing. Trying to be like the NBA with all the drama. And the only way, realistically, America, stop for a second and think about it. It's only the 7th week of a 17-game season. Don't let them fool you with this, man.
That's right.
They're going crazy. And then, you got the perfect story over here with Tom Brady, too. He has all the drama with his girlfriend and Antonio Brown and all that good stuff. And, we got a guy Picture Dave in the house, too.
Good.
Let's bring him in real quick.
Let's bring him in.
What's up, guys?
Hey,
guys. How you doing?
What up, Dave? How are you, man? Welcome in.
Yeah, thanks. Glad to be here. Thanks for the invitation. Just enjoying a football Sunday.
How's your early games going?
Actually, pretty well. I have the Commanders. It's looking good.
See, I talked about that.
Yeah.
Better quarterback today, baby.
Yeah, diarrhea brain's not in there, so
that's it. Listen, I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
I got the Giants. That's looking pretty good. They just took the lead against the Jaguars.
I've been watching the game. I've been watching. I had the Jaguars first half, and they just gave it away with the fumble. I'm sure you've seen it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was carrying the ball like this. I mean, it was just like high school guys learn not to do that. That was just rookie. I guess he just thought he was going to waltz in there. So that just goes to show you. That's all it takes, right? The big difference because they went into the half down 13-11, and it should have been 18-13, or whatever. So big difference, man.
Yeah. Turnovers are so, more than any sport in the NFL, one turnover because these guys are so good. That's the difference in the game is one turnover.
Yep, without a doubt. Yeah. So DJ was just talking about how it's only week 7, man, and everybody, how the media, the NFL, and they all like to, prop up some of these teams and stuff. And do we really know yet? It's just a 17-week season that there's no real. Yes, we know the Bills are really good, but there's no real runaway team. Anything can happen. It's only week 7. And what I was going to add to that was a lot of sports bettors and do the same thing. These preconceived notions that everybody has, like at the beginning, like the stuff I hear at the beginning of the season, sometimes I say to myself, why you guys even bother then capping any games? You know what's going to happen. Oh, this guy's going to be great. Oh, this team's going to be, you got to back this guy. What are you talking about, So I think it works. I think it gets in people's brains. And if we do this shit every day, guys like us. So, and I'm sure, I know for a fact that I used to get into my head too before I knew better. But I think guys got to watch themselves with all their preconceived notions, man. The next 3 weeks we could see a different NFL. What do you think, Dave?
Absolutely. You look at the Niners line in that game. I'm all over the Niners, and the Chiefs are arguably, them and the Bills are the best two teams in football. I actually still think the AFC, the route to the Super Bowl in the AFC, runs through Kansas City until the Bills beat the Chiefs in a meaningful game. It doesn't much matter, but you're completely right. The book said, the Chiefs versus the Niners, Garoppolo versus Mahomes. We've seen that before, and the line's only at 2 points. They're basically saying on a neutral field, this matchup is Kansas City -2 or -1. That throw all of that out the window. You're right. Things change on a dime, and we're going to see some teams maybe that were really good, like the Jets or the Giants, fall off a little bit, and then we're going to see teams like the Niners that are going to pick it up. So
I keep waiting for the Giants to fall off.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, they listen, and they're being opportunistic. They're capitalizing on. A lot of teams are beating themselves, but that's not the Giants' fault,
It's true.
And the Giants are playing well. Jones ain't turning the ball over. He's not getting sacked like crazy. He is playing better. I got to give him credit. He definitely is playing better. And I like the way the Jets are playing defense, so we'll see what happens. You bet the Niners at +2?
Yeah, I got them at 2.
Yes, I mean, it's +1 now.
Yeah.
I'm just going to look at the money. I like the DJ, would you date? You took a teaser, you said?
Yeah, I took that teaser, just a quick teaser. I'm trying to get the ball rolling because I ain't really been betting this week because I've been ill. But
how you feeling, by the way?
I'm feeling much better to be on camera, 100% better than last Sunday. But I'm making it, man. I'm just gonna take my time and get so I could be right. I'm such a high energy, always got stuff going. When stuff like this happened in my life, it's a little setback because I'm not used to just sitting around allowing my body to heal or whatever. I want to get up and move around, but it's all good, man. I appreciate you for checking in on me, man. But for all those that's out there, I'm right here. I made it back. Nothing gonna defeat me.
That's for sure.
But,
That's
yeah,
for
man.
Sure.
But back to all of this stuff for these pre-notions or whatever. That's one of the things when it comes to capping the cappers. Sometimes, and not more like in our community, no, but in more like the ESPN stuff and the stuff that's more national. When they start ragging on guys too bad or like going too hard, this guy's a bum. I fade him. I take the guy. I go the other route because I mean. I always looked at it. I mean, they told us back in the day, as young athletes, like if you're a high school or a college athlete and you consider going into the NFL, how many spots is available in the NFL? What, 500 or so or less or whatever? So you're talking about people, no matter how bad you think this guy is, he may have won a national championship. He may have won his high school title. You don't know what his accolades is to that. So to call a professional player who's really a professional player a bum is kind of an insult sometimes, even though we all do it. We got diarrhea brains out there.
Yeah.
But at the same
that
time,
guy on the bench, same thing. You're right, man. Even that guy on the bench, they say something like 10% of the college players get to try out or something for the NFL,
right.
And then only a few percent of those guys make it to the NFL. Out of the 10% that try out, half of those guys, or more than half of those guys, don't make it. And so you could just imagine, and any sport, baseball, any sport. I mean, so it takes a lot to be a pro, to get paid even a minimum salary of a couple $100,000. That ain't too bad, right?
Yeah, I was watching a little clip of some athlete. I mean, the guy he never was a starter, but he was on a bunch of different practice squads and all that kind of stuff. And he was breaking down the money aspect of it. He was like, I was a professional player, but he was like, I wasn't making no money. He was like, the little bit of money I got before they cut me off on this and moved me over here.
Right.
He said it didn't really amount to nothing. I think he said by the end, and he had like a 4-year span to doing it. I think he counted like 60,000 that he may have got from playing professionally mostly as a practice player though. But he said even when those guys, he said with the money they get to go over to, I think he said like the Canadian League and stuff like that, he was like, it's crumbs. He was like, on some of those teams, they don't even allow you to make that money. He said the best amount of money that he had received was from going to the XFL. I think he said he got 40 of that 90 grand came from the XFL. and that's what, an 8-game season that they signed up for or something like that.
That's interesting.
So yeah, man, it's rough for those athletes. I even know a young athlete that played at Fresno State. I mean, he wasn't a premier player, but he was good. I mean, he has a great athletic, skill and balance and stuff. He went to the combine and all that, but he gets guys call him and say, "Hey, man, we got a spot for you to come out to Miami, and somebody moved out. We're gonna move you in." And 2 days later, they call him back and say, "Nah, man, never mind. Stay where you at." So it's a rough world out there. So my point is, those that really make it, they are good. There's no doubt about it. Like, they may have bad days. I kind of think of football as levels. Like, every player has their level. Like, you have players that are only so good in high school. If they go to the next notch, they maybe not that good. It's just levels to it. But for the ones that make it to the NFL, the starting position, I never would consider them as a bum. And all these people that talk that smack, if they meet these people in person, they'll be like, "No, you're great. You're this, you're that."
Yeah, that's right. It's like Twitter. It's like Twitter. All these idiots that say things and they get in your face. They'd never say that to my face.
Yeah. The DM box warriors.
That's a whole other story.
Yeah.
That's for
But
sure.
you that's a really good point. I always say there's certain thresholds that I have, and in the NFL, I always say, because these are all NFL players, you have to give me a really good reason to be a touchdown or more favorite in the NFL. That's why I've been hitting the Giants and the Jets, and you have to give me a compelling reason above my index, above my cap. There has to be the eye test, and because all these teams are so good. And that's where there's been so many so many backdoor covers this season, and also so many one-score games this season.
The fourth quarter magic, right, DJ?
Yeah, fourth quarter magic. And you know what I think it really resolves down to? Defense.
Mm-hmm.
Defense is at a premium right now because you could tell by the line. You get in more 40s. You got a 30, 38 that went down to a 36 and a half today. Like, we used to get a good 50, 54 here and there, 48s. We get in nothing but 40, 39, 42, sometimes 44. So, and the ones that are a little high, the 50s, those are the ones that usually go over, because I guess they can only put it so high before they can, mark the number. But I think defense is the reason of this overall. Even though offense is really high flying nowadays with these receivers and the catching and all that kind of stuff, but these cornerbacks and these linebackers and safeties and stuff, they're doing a hell of a job out there.
No, it's. See, I'm a guy that gets excited about defense. A lot of people don't, but I like this.
Yeah, I'm an underplayer mostly. I'm not like Noli who won't play it over.
Yeah,
he won't play it over.
Yeah,
I'm sitting in a casino with the guy who will not play it over. It's just amazing. But and listen, the bottom line is it works for him. But before I just wanted to ask a question, because I'm trying to maybe put this bet in. What do you think about the total, since we were talking about totals in this in the 49ers game? I'm kind of thinking that's a little high. It did go down from 49.5 to 49 throughout the day. Do you think that's really going to be a high-scoring game?
I think that one is a stay away game because of the history between the two teams. You could get I would probably lean more towards the over, but then that's a lot of points for San Francisco, whose offense hasn't been producing much like that. And bringing McCaffrey in, that means that they want to run the ball and do those type of things. So I don't know. That's a catch-22 right there. I kind of shy away from that.
I'm off of the total. I'll tell you what, because this is the number one scoring offense in the league in Kansas City, but the number 2 scoring defense. So we can go one of two ways. Either the Niners can control the ball, obviously, and then I actually think it's more of an under to me, because I think the Bills were the 6th best team at sacking the quarterback in the NFL. The Niners are 1, and the reason why they won that game against the Chiefs was they made Mahomes feel uncomfortable. He had 9 quarterback pressures. So if that's the recipe, if Shanahan can do that, then it's an under. But this could be Garoppolo is capable of getting in a gunslinging match. He can do it. He's not as good as Mahomes, but if he had to, they're going to throw the ball, and they do have Samuel. They've got some weapons, Kittle. But I would lean towards the under. I'm off the total though.
as we're talking about it, I'm looking at it, and then it just dropped to 48.5.
There you
That
go.
little time we were talking about. So the late money, which I like to look at more than the early money. I used to be the other way around, but lately, the way things are changing, I've been, I don't really make the money decide, and the splits really make that much of a determination of my bet. But the late money sometimes is a good telltale sign, and it did drop a full point throughout the afternoon. So anyway, it's too much back and forth, so I guess I'll stay off it. I hate when if I was going to take it, I should have took it already. So, I was hemming and hawing at 49.5. I'm not going to take it 48.5. The hell with it. Yeah. Got to stay
the same way. If I miss the move, I'll kick myself in the ass, but I won't take it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
And what you were saying about that is the reason why I didn't play it, because of the number 2 defense. It's just too many coin flips. So that's good. You helped me. You didn't make me make and we'll see what happens. It should be a good game. We'll see what happens.
So what do y'all think about the Sunday night game, Pittsburgh and Miami? I think when they scheduled this, they probably thought they were going to have a decent Sunday night game. But I think the way
this week's primetime games were horrible. Thursdays, Monday night game, horrible.
Well, at least this week's Thursday night game actually had some offense, though, or had some points scored. You got to give it at least that much.
Yeah.
And what about the primetime, the media, the big networks, have been loving the Denver Broncos, and they had them on about a million different spots, including, I think, like next Monday night or something. They're coming up to a Monday night game, and they're playing on, like, Christmas Day also, the Broncos. Yeah. So they got them, like, in all these spots this year. Now, who knows if they flex them out, if they do that kind of stuff anymore. But I thought that was interesting how they had the Broncos in a million spots. And so far, I don't know what's up with that team either. But, yeah, I hear what you're saying.
I'm on them today. I've been betting the Jets. Yeah, I've been betting the Jets. I do power indexes, and I don't make my own. I average a bunch of like Sagarin and Sonny Moore. I take them and I average them, and then I start my cap there. And there was 4 points of line value with taking the Broncos. The problem is the Broncos are still too high up in those indexes, I think. But I think maybe this quarterback change, although isn't it? It's Rypien's Mark Rypien's nephew or son or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that.
Anyway, I think this is actually a good thing for them. They need a refresh. They need something because that coach is horrible. Russell Wilson's all in a funk. I think that's a good thing. I also think the Jets regress a little bit.
You would think they would go. They would start to.
Yeah, you're right.
Playing great.
I love their defense. I love their coach. He's a Niner guy. Yeah.
What I've seen from the Jets defensive line is what bagged me off of it. The Jets defensive line is legit. So they're going to become, maybe the under is still key with that low number right there. But yeah, the Broncos offense got to eventually do something. It's got to have a spark somewhere.
Yeah.
But that defense is still tough defense, man. You can't deny Broncos defense.
Yeah. They're a really good defense. But you were talking about Pittsburgh, Miami.
Yeah.
I'm off of it. I'm off the game, but there's just too many. Two is a question mark. Pittsburgh's quarterback's a question mark. I got burned on the Steelers twice this season. I think I'm off them for the rest of the season. They're just.
That's cold because we got some Steeler fans out there
I'm a Steelers fan. They're my second team.
Oh yeah. They've been puffing their chests out for a bunch of years. It's kind of hard to swallow them things right now. Well, geez, I don't know what's wrong with them. All the Steelers fans are saying, "Oh, their defense is so bad because Watt's out." Well, he's just one guy.
Yeah, exactly. Come on.
What about the weirdest game on the card today? The Chargers and the Seahawks.
It's gonna go.
That's a coin toss.
I think so too. I think the line's right where it should be. Like I said, it's hard to be around a touchdown favorite for me to back them. I think the Chargers are a lot better than they've been playing, and the Seahawks are probably playing at maximum, like their ceiling. Kudos to Pete Carroll. I don't think they can play any better. It's kind of all downhill from here. So I stayed away from it. But I know a lot of people that are on the Chargers.
What's up with the total on that one? 51.5?
51.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. That's telling you something. That's scary.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah.
That's
what are you saying about Geno Smith, Dom?
Geno Smith. First of all, the money. Let me look at the over 51. It got 67% of the cash, like 50% of the bet, 67% of the cash. So people banging that over. The line. Now Seattle's getting the money for the +5. It's +5 now. 52% of the bets and 56% of the handle. According to draft, this is the DraftKings numbers. But these splits are all the same. And I look at other ones like these percentages are always pretty much within a few points of each other. But Geno Smith for some reason has like some great. I heard some kids talking about who the hell was it? Oh, my son-in-law talking about Geno Smith having this like great fantasy numbers. He's like one of the top quarterbacks in fantasy numbers this year already.
Hey, I'll tell you,
but that's pretty funny, you know.
I think
that's pretty funny. Yeah.
I'll tell you about Geno though, and it ain't
been around for a long time. Perfect example of what you're saying, though. A guy that's been around for a long time, played under a lot of different coaches, a bunch of different offenses, and I guess he's not as bad as we always said. And listen, I'm a Jet fan. I was, you know, I lived through all his antics. But listen, he seems to, like Teddy Bridgewater, still gets those contracts. You know, he's still there. And this year, I mean, no one expected him to play as good as he's playing this year. No way. Let's face it.
I did. I actually did because he went to Pete, and Pete doesn't go after the top quarterback. He goes after the quarterback that fits his system. So for him to go for Geno, he knew it was something there that he could work with, and we see that in Geno right now. It's Pete. That's the same reason Russell not doing what he's supposed to do. To me, it's Pete. I mean, I was a Notre Dame fan who lived through the SC Notre Dame rivalry with Pete. And I know that guy has some tricks up his sleeve as far as coaching, but he does it so slick. Like he's a big play guy. So he just plays this basic game and he just keeps trying to hit you with these big plays and hit you with these big plays. And then he needs players like Geno that can make big plays. He don't have to do the right thing every time. He just has to do the right thing when he need him to do it. And that's why I said it at the beginning of the season. I said, when I seen that he went there, I said, why would Pete go get Geno? He knew something about it. If you go back and do the research, when Pete came over to the NFL, the first thing he did was pretty much pick up every guy that he played against when he was at USC and put them on his team because he already knew their skill set. He's about skill set. I mean, he uses it the way he want to use it. So you take Geno off that team, put him on any other team right now, he goes right back to being Geno.
Yeah. Listen, so that bodes the question was how much of Russell Wilson's success was Pete? I mean, I don't think this year really, you know, a lot of people are saying, Russell, he was all Pete. I just think Russell Wilson hit the wall and he's been around a long time and he's just, you know, regressing. But how much of it was Pete? You know, think about it. It's a conversation.
I have to say, when I was on the Nerd Show, and I mentioned about if Russell looked like the same Russell, you know, at Denver as he was at Seattle, they almost ran me off the screen with all the Russell accolades through the years. But look where we at a couple of weeks later.
I was in the middle on that argument, but I'll say this: like you know, Big Boss, Pete Carroll's my guy. I was there. I saw it. I was in the stands for those years. That was my time at school. But he's a when I was a freshman.
I met the guy. I love the guy.
He's
I used to go to the Hofstra training camp.
Oh yeah.
I live right here. I'm 20 minutes away. Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, he's a defensive guy that's going to take, even though he had all those great teams, he can take a little and do a lot. They've really been competitive in games. I think he had a good relationship with Russell Wilson, but I think what I see, and it's the eye test, Russell Wilson, something's wrong in his head. I don't think he's comfortable where he's at. I think Pete was part of Russell's success, but I think he was comfortable in Seattle. He looks just a mess. Even in press conferences, he's not saying the same things as he did before. Something's in his head, and I think a lot of it had to do, or a part of it had to do with that decision to kick that field goal, that 64-yard field goal. Because not only was it like, I'm going to be the dude, Nathaniel Hackett, it was, hey, Russ, I don't trust you to pick up this first down.
Very strange whole thing. You know what? Listen, you know what? You could be 100% right, because your head, something like that gets into your head. And these athletes, that's the kind of heads they got. I mean, I could see that shit getting affected. The mind game is big, is my point. So yeah, you hit on a good point, and yeah, he hasn't really been the same. I mean, you could really trace it back and make an argument factually that he hasn't, stat wise, he hasn't been the same. So yeah. So you went to USC in those years, huh?
I did. The first quarterback was Carson Palmer's Heisman years last year.
Okay.
And then all the way through with Leinart and Bush and White and all those guys.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was very blessed.
Don't forget Matt Castle.
Matt Castle,
yeah.
Matt Castle. Well, Matt Castle was listed. This is what's so funny, because after college, Matt Castle was in the NFL playing, and Matt Leinart was in Newport Beach, hitting the bar scene down there before he got his big TV deal. So, but Matt Castle was listed as a tight end a lot of the times in the program for USC.
Wow.
The dude gets drafted behind Brady. Brady's leg gets hurt. Goo runs out. Castle gets his shot, and Castle has a few good years.
Yeah. Hey, how did he even get to the NFL with a highlight tape of being a backup quarterback?
No clue. I think I'm not even sure he had a starting snap. He didn't at USC. I don't think. But he was picked up in the last round.
What film did he send them? Did he send them the film from warm-ups?
High school, maybe. I don't know. Warm-ups. Practice squad.
The guy throws a good 3rd and 8, 3-yard out, in warm-ups.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, man.
Shout out to Matt Castle, though, man. Hey, anything can happen when you got guys like Matt Castle. And then he goes to the Patriots at that time. On top of that, wow, amazing.
Yeah, it's great, and he got his shot too. I mean, it all kind of, if Brady never gets hurt, who knows if he's even the backup quarterback the next year.
Yeah, that's crazy. But man, we coming up to that Niner game, man. I'm gonna go ahead and rehydrate, get ready to get out of here. But Dave, let them know what you got going on over there with the nerds. Ever since I've been on Nerd Talk, they keep sending me emails for nerd wallets and all kinds of stuff, man. What y'all got going on over there?
Yeah, those algorithms are kind of funny. So Picks from Dave's my YouTube channel. I do daily pick videos come out every night.
Subscribe.
Yep.
I'm behind the times, Dave, on all that. It took me 3 weeks to figure out Rocco Rogers was you. So let's
yeah.
DJ had to school me. Go ahead.
And Wednesday and Friday nights at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. It's a capper collective. Dom, you can come on if you want. I know it's kind of late, on your end, but we just sit and cap. Big Boss has been on it. We do all the sports. We're doing hockey now, which I'm not very strong at.
I'll definitely stop in.
Yeah, not very strong in hockey, but we got a great bunch of hockey cappers from all over the world. We have guys from Canada. We're gonna have people soccer people from Portugal. So anyways, that's what we have there. And then I'm on Twitter, Picks from Dave.
Right, great. That's great.
Hey, and they did a tutorial for me on Nerd Talk with the hockey too. We had a good discussion there. We was coming to talk some college football. We almost ended up talking hockey the whole time. Though. Shout out to those guys, man.
Yeah, that's my listen. If I had to put it in order, of course, MLB is the first for me, and but then it's hockey, not NFL. It's definitely hockey. So I'm just but I always wait for like the first 20 games to go by in hockey in the season. So I just been tracking my stuff, and I made a few bets, only 2 actually, 2 losses, but 2. And but anyhow, I'm ready for hockey. That's what I'm gearing up for now. I mean, baseball at this point just kind of caps itself, and I see and the Phillies are up 2-1, and in the 6th inning. I got the Phillies in the series plus 105.
Okay.
I didn't take them today. I kind of thought that the Padres might win today, but Wheeler's pitching a strong performance, and so is Darvish. I was more surprised that Darvish is pitching so strong again today on the road in this situation.
This season blows me away. I'm Southern California guy, so I watched what he did with the Dodgers.
Right.
But he was money. First 5 this season, absolutely money. He was an ATM.
No, without a doubt. And I'll tell you what, the Phillies just got in such a great position. They were hurt all year, and all of a sudden they got healthy at the end of the year. All these guys play now. Their team in general is fresh, while everybody else has, been grueling. I think that was part of the Mets' problem. They were just burnt out and they were tired. And once they didn't win the division, I knew they were done. Their only shot was winning a division. That was the only shot.
Yeah, they petered out.
That was disappointing. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But they played that was a bone of contention, here anyhow, was how Buck was just riding his starters to, I mean, Lindor and Alonso didn't get many days off. It was pretty telling. And the pitches just at the end. And Scherzer, I don't know. I guess he's getting too old because he did it last year with the Dodgers too, right? With he couldn't pitch in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And this year he lost the last 3 most important games in the regular season. One against the Braves, one against I think the Padres. I forget the other one, but whatever. On to next year. But I got the Phillies in this series. It looks like the Yankees can't. I had over 6.5 last night. Damn Astros score 5 runs. I can't get the over. It's just amazing. The Yankees had like 2 hits, 3 hits. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
Get ready for an unbettable World Series because whoever goes up against the Astros, you're gonna have to be betting team totals and unders, and it's gonna be tough.
Listen, you might be able to beat one of their starters in the first 5 innings, but that bullpen you don't have a shot against. No one has if you don't score your runs before that 6th inning, you're in trouble. Mm-hmm. I'm with you, man. I agree with you 100%. But whatever. It was great having you, Dave. We appreciate you coming in, man. We just do this on Sundays, have some fun. We picked the time when nobody else would be on, so and it's fun, talk about the late games and just hanging out and bullshit. But I'll definitely take up on your offer, and I'll definitely be stopping in and make sure I subscribe to your channel and stuff. And I'll definitely tweet out your stuff. Without a doubt.
Thanks so much, guys. It's good.
Brother.
It's good hanging out, and hit me up anytime. I'm usually, unless I'm watching it with my grandpa or whatever. I've got the battle stations with all the TVs over here. So
there you go.
All right, brother.
All right, thanks,
night.
Dave.
All right, take it easy.
All right.
Yeah, man. That was good seeing Dave. He's a good capper. If anybody doesn't know, picks from Dave, you should follow him on
Great
Twitter
follow.
and
follow.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's one of those guys. It's a straight up, honest guy. If he loses 7 games in a row, he'll tell you he lost 7 games in a row. He's not one of those guys that disappear because they have a couple losing days. If you notice, if you keep your eye on who you follow, you gotta watch that. Some guys all of a sudden you don't hear about for 2 weeks, and then you see, I'm 3-0, I'm 10-0 in the last 3 days. But the last 7 days you're 10-12. But anyhow, it's good. I'm glad you're back, DJ. Good to see you. We will talk tomorrow.
Glad to be back, man.
Yeah, man. And,
so make sure y'all tune in next weekend, same time, same place, and make sure you catch that Boss in the Sauce on Wednesday, 5:30. I'm pretty sure I'll be back because I'm back. And make sure you look out for Wham anytime during the week, but mostly on Wednesdays.
Wham's
Wham's been putting a lot of content for the NBA. The NBA is going and thriving right now, yo. I think this is probably one of the best points to get the money out the NBA because give them 30 days and it's going to be a janky world.
Yeah, man. And then, if you don't know about following Wham by now, you're like living under a rock. So definitely got to follow him. And I'll be starting up a hockey show not next week, probably the week after, and then we'll do it for the whole season. So we'll got some good hockey cappers that we know in the group, and that will get on with me. And I'll definitely hook myself into Dave and his hockey guys. And there's always money to be made in hockey. As you know, a lot of our guys follow hockey, so that's how it goes. So give me and DJ a follow on our Twitters, DJ Bigboss, Dom541, or at DommyGun, and we will see you again next week, right, DJ?
Next week, we out.
Okay, man.
No matter how you did on your early NFL bets, join us every Sunday at 3 p.m. on Before You Bet with DommyGunRici and DJ Bigboss.